I don't know the details of that case. I read it in the newspaper like everyone else did. But quite frankly, my initial reaction is that was a misdemeanor that President Trump pardoned him for, while President Obama pardoned hundreds and commuted the sentence of hundreds of hardcore drug dealers and those that use guns in the commission of a felony. So when you look at one president that pardons hardcore felon drug dealers using guns, and the other president, Trump, pardoning a sheriff for a misdemeanor, how can you? Once again, I don't know the details of the event. I just really don't know the details of the event. But I can tell you this, that I believe in the rule of law. I believe that the people that were sentenced to prison, that President Obama let out, that used guns in the commission of a felony, or that he commuted their sentences when they used guns in the commission of a felony, that was wrong. That is skirting the rule of law, and that's what President Obama did. You can apply that same standard. If Joe Arpaio was convicted by a jury of his peers, and he had the opportunity for an appeal, and he was convicted by a jury of his peers, and then the appellate courts upheld it, then that he shouldn't have been pardoned either. To me, the rule of law is what keeps this a safe democracy and a safe community. And if a court, a judge gives me a court order, I carry it out. I obey it. And I think it's important to obey the orders of the court because that's the rule of law. Now, the allegations were apparently that this Sheriff Arpaio out in Arizona didn't do that. I don't know. I don't know what all that was about, but I do know this. I know that he supposedly defied a court order, and another federal judge refused to give him a jury trial and heard the court themselves. And then as far as I know, there hadn't been time for an appeal before President Trump pardoned him. I believe in the rule of law. I believe when a court orders you to do something, you do it. And if you disagree, you appeal that order. Because I am the first one to tell you, if we've got to have in order to have a free democracy, we've got to have justice. In order to have justice, we've got to follow the rule of law. I don't know the intimate details of the case, and that's the uniqueness about our criminal justice system. Every case is independently different, so you really have to know the inside of the case to know whether the action was appropriate or not appropriate. The President of the United States is given that authority to pardon. Trump used it, Obama used it, Bush used it, Clinton used it, and I suggest to you all of them have used it. And depending on which side of the argument you're on, some thought the president was right, some thought the president was wrong, and that goes back throughout history. But I can tell you this, I obey the courts.